Mount Adams like that at ECETI Ranch of Bigfoot activity?
Oh yeah, it's really sort of famous whenever you think about it. Now, historically, whenever you're looking at sort of the mountain ranges there, Mount Hood, Mount Adams, Mount Rainier, Mount Helens that's like the epicenter of a lot of different Bigfoot stuff. It's so common for that kind of to happen that a lot of times people they don't even talk about it so much. I mean, I know so many people that are down there researching in the Gifford Pinchot National Forest all the time, James is sort of famous for that kind of stuff. It's kind of like I don't know how to describe ECETI other than like a mystical Disneyland, because it seems like they have all these different types of reported things that go on there. There's they involve in some spirituality and those different attempts, but you've got UFO stuff. I know they believe in elemental spirits or fae stuff, and also Bigfoot stuff. So I mean, it's one of those things where, like you said, if somebody shows up, something happens. It's Jimmy Church was there recently, and he saw something, and Dave Schrader saw something there too. So it's amazing the type of activity that goes on there.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, in this video that we've uploaded to the UFOI Team Facebook page, it's James Gilliland talking with Peter Maxwell Slattery from Australia, a big UFO Bigfoot buff down in the land of Oz. So both those guys were there that day and talking about, actually James was saying that the First Nation tribes in that area have known about these Bigfoot phenomena and activity for generations, and saying that there is basically a family of them right around there at ECETI Ranch. They like to come in and act a little mischievously for the people that come.
Oh, there's definitely that's part of the lore there in that area. I mean, Skamania County. I think Stevenson is the seat of Skamania County, which is one of the ways you can get to ECETI. But that's one of the places in the state where it's illegal to shoot a Bigfoot. I mean, inside the county there, and there's several places around here that have that. Whatcom County's the same way. I mean, they actually have laws on the books that you're not to harm them. So
yeah. It's not just saying a cryptid or any animals. It's just saying they're actually saying Bigfoot.
Yes.
And so basically they're confirming the existence of a creature that you cannot kill, basically.
Right. I mean, there's if you're going down to that area, I mean, one of the things that is interesting, if you ever have a chance to go down there, the Columbia Gorge is beautiful. And if you can go across the Bridge of the Gods, which is a small little toll that goes across there, there's all kinds of different places that there's all kinds of statues of Bigfoot and places in town where it's a known thing. I mean, you can't go to Stevenson and not find something with Bigfoot in it. It's they're well known for it.
Oh yeah. Well, and let's do this. Oh gosh, you know what? We're going to a break. We'll see you in 3 minutes, you guys. Hang on.
Do you have a paranormal story you want to share on Night Dreams Talk Radio? You could be a guest. Email us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
Yes, you can get a hold of us if you are interested in a certain subject that you would like to present on Night Dreams Talk Radio. Matter of fact, while we have the opportunity, we want to thank Gary Anderson at Night Dreams Talk Radio Network for having the Paranormal Lawyer on Saturday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And by the way, if there's any way that you want to make sure that our archive shows stay free so you can download them and listen to them at your leisure, it'd be nice if you could send a couple bucks to Gary, donate to the station, and help us with the bandwidth that we're using up here to keep us on the air. You can always do that at nightdreamstalkradio.com, and you can get a hold of Gary on his phone number down there as well on the website. So anything you could do in that regard would be very helpful for this new year, 2019. Okay, now we're back, and we have Lee Strauss and Kevin Beagle from the UFO I-Team on the line talking about Mount Adams and the Mount Adams incident that took place this last August 2018 down in South Central Washington State. Are you there, both of you, Lee and Kevin?
Yep, Roger.
Yes.
Wonderful. Sorry about that quick break that I had to take there, but we're doing that because I'll tell you what, it's good news. We are about to be added to a bunch of actual terrestrial stations, too, and we're going to make sure that we have a little break at the top of the hour so the stations can identify themselves and run their own commercials. So that's kind of a new development for us at Night Dreams Talk Radio Network, something to look forward to.
I was just going to say, I think that's amazing, and it is a good thing that Gary's doing because what station out there is not it's just paranormal. I can't think of one. So
yeah,
it's very interesting. I like the new lineup too with the experts in their fields, and so I think it's a great thing.
Oh yeah, and I tell you what, in February, Kevin and Lee, you're going to see some really interesting things happen coming down the pike. I'll just kind of give you a little bit of an information about what I know is that basically the station is going 24 hours a day with live streaming. So we're going to have live shows like we normally do. But if anybody is out there in a long haul cab trucking across the United States, or if they're just running around and they want to punch into nightdreamstalkradio.com at any time of the day, they're going to punch up one of our archive shows. So it'll be like a 24-hour rotating kind of schedule. I'm looking forward to that, too.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.
Okay, well, listen, you know what I thought we'd do next is, now that we've talked about the Bigfoot activity out there at ECETI Ranch, historically, I thought we'll jump right into the basically the big night of UFO sighting that happened to the UFO I-Team at ECETI Ranch. And I thought maybe I'd throw it to Lee Strauss. First of all, Lee, to maybe describe some of your high-tech camera gear that you have. Matter of fact, you used some different camera gear that night, but it'd be nice for you to maybe describe some of the gear that you've just uploaded to the UFO I-Team Facebook page and the YouTube page that we've got now, so people can see what we're talking about. But if you can give us an idea, when we go sky watching, what kind of equipment and how do you set it up?
Well, we've got the Canon 7D, which I use to take all the time-lapse photography. I think it's really important that we have a camera off to the side just doing time-lapse. And then you can piece those all together in its own little movie and basically watch the sky. And it's pretty darn incredible what you can see with that. But we also use Luna Optics, a LN-DM50 HD standard definition full color night vision camera on a tripod with just a regular old like Handycam, Sony Handycam, which would record the audio. because the Luna Optics does not pick up audio, unfortunately. And then we also have the next generation of that, the LN-DM60 HD, which is basically the best piece of equipment that we currently have, which is, recording at 1080, and that thing is full color as well. And the great thing about that is it's got such a wider field of view, which is nice, and also it's generation 3+, so it definitely bumps up our capabilities of watching what's going on in the night sky. And then we just picked up what's called a Best Garter. This Christmas we picked up a Best Garter, new product that they have out, which is pretty fantastic. It's a binocular which records audio as well as video in 1080p. So I'm excited to get that into the mix and start using that. It's got a 4-inch display on the back of it, but I still think that after fumbling around with this thing that I'm going to need to get an additional field monitor for it. And then we have a Cleveland Paranormal full spectrum camera. Basically, we use that to see what can't be seen by the regular human eye. Hopefully, picking up some stuff in ultraviolet and maybe a little bit into the infrared spectrum as well. So that's pretty much what our lineup is right now.
That's quite a complement of gear, and I know what your house looks like when you're about ready to go on a skywatch. You're trying to get all those batteries up to speed, and you've got them plugged into every outlet you possibly can because you need them, to run all that gear. By the way, just to let people know, they can go to the Facebook page on UFOI Team and take a look at the actual gear itself. We've got it up there in video form they can look at there. So, and by the way, you also mentioned the fact that you have these field monitors on the tripods from these fantastic cameras that you can look at the monitor itself, very large monitors actually, rather than have to put your eye through the eyepiece each time, right?
Yeah, but what that does for me is it renders me virtually blind, so I have to rely on a spotter when I'm doing this sort of work, because I can't see nothing. Once I pull my eye away from the monitors, I'm unable to see what's going on in the sky for a couple of seconds anyway. So we're relying on, most of the time we're relying on Ander to spot things with a laser, and sometimes some other individuals to spot things with the laser so that I can then get them in the camera lens and start recording.
Yeah, and what you're mentioning is Ander Uristi is your kind of like your co-pilot there on the videos, where he is with his own night vision eyes, basically his own eyes are looking at the starry sky and able to pinpoint things well before most people see them, by the way, and then he kind of brings them to your attention with a large arc of the laser